freedom of expression is under serious threat in many countries in the Middle East. And when you look at the state of freedom of speech in a country like Egypt and the setbacks that it has gone through in recent years, that doesn't bode well for the rest of the region. And obviously, one of the reasons put forth by the government of Egypt for clamping down is that there's the threat of terrorism, and the security situation has deteriorated so bad. In fact, it's because you have a deteriorating security situation that you need freedom of speech, so that people can contribute their ideas and feel at home contributing those ideas and helping immunize the country against security threats. Jazeera is a 24-hour news network, so it devotes a lot of time and attention to, let's say, a specific event. And a specific something happens, let's say a terrorist attack happens somewhere. It wouldn't be just the news coverage. There'd be a lot of shows looking at that particular incident from so many different angles. What does it mean for a terrorist attack to happen in Paris, for example? Who is behind it? Why is it happening? What will it mean for the rest of French society? What will it mean for Muslims living in France and in Europe? So these are serious questions which ultimately always find enough time to be debated on Al Jazeera. And I think the world waited too long to deal with the crisis in Syria, to deal with it in a serious way. And unfortunately, in addition to the Syrians themselves who are paying the price, others outside Syria are paying the price. That includes Europe, that includes the European Union. There is definitely an obligation to help refugees, not just from Syria, if you're a rich country. You know, the issue of holy war has been a major issue for humanity for, many centuries. I sometimes go through Spain and I hear people talking about Santiago de Compostela, for example, and I say, what is that? And they say, well, that's actually where pilgrims going to the Middle East in the days of the Crusades, the Christian holy war in the Middle East, that's where they used to stop on their way to the Middle East. And then you go through the history of Islam and you find a lot of examples of jihad, the sacred war against the Christians. And those things may have been part of the past, but as you know, they are still part of the present. Specifically when it comes to jihad in Islam, a lot of people in the Muslim world and outside the Muslim world, they identify jihad as a military war. But there's another meaning to jihad in the Arabic language, which is when you try hard to achieve a sublime goal, when you try hard to be a better person, or when you try hard to be a better nation. That's also considered jihad. But the common word, the common understanding of the word jihad in the Muslim world and in the West is unfortunately war.